you guys get to witness the trek to the back rink today. Excuse me, gentlemen. Thank you, thank you. This will be the first video for me in the back rink for you guys. Not for me, I played in the back rink plenty. First one I've recorded with this camera and on my cheater cage channel. So, as I walk outside into the beautiful night, I will welcome you to this week's edition of The Last Line with me, Cheater Cage Ryan. What's going on? Today's topic is going to be regret, and how I regret how much I just ate 2 hours ago. Actually, today I'm going to be talking about my first job, because I took a new position at my place of employment, and it got me thinking about my first job. My manager at this ice cream shop was probably the best managers I could have had for my first real job. His name was Lamar. Great guy. Lamar, hi, I'm giving you a shout out in this video. My first impression of him was in the interview process. Ah! My first impression of him was during the interview process, which was a group interview. So it was Lamar behind the counter of the shop, and a bunch of us sitting out in the dining area with no tables, just all facing him. At one point during the interview, Lamar's asking all of us how we would react in certain situations. And the situation he presented to us was, now what happens if someone comes in, says, I want to taste a sample of your cake batter ice cream. He took one of the small sample spoons, scooped out a big old scoop of ice cream on this small, tiny spoon. He said, now what happens if the customer just hates it and throws the ice cream back at you? And he sticks that spoon of ice cream right to his forehead. And it sticks there. So after that whole ice cream on the forehead interview experience, I ended up getting the job. And it was great. It was a great first job. Lamar taught me a lot of good things about life and work. One of the biggest things he taught me was, no matter what, just be yourself. Stay true to yourself and have fun with what you're doing. I think the ice cream on the forehead was a prime example of that. My best friend at the time ended up getting hired a little while after I did, and we had a blast. Oh man, we always made sure we had shifts together, and one day we decided it was kind of slow, and we made quite a bit of our money off tips, and we decided one day to start flipping the bottles and stuff around as if we were Tom Cruise in Cocktails. And Lamar came in after that night we had been checking around the caramel and chocolate bottles all night, getting lots of tips too. But we didn't realize we were putting chocolate and caramel on the ceiling. Lamar walks in, does one of these, just looks up at the ceiling, looks at us, goes, I don't know what happened. Sees our tip jar. Says, I don't know what happened, just as long as it's clean. In the morning when I show up. So of course, we cleaned it, but we kept up that routine. That was a part of my first robbery at that store. I always tell the story as it was January. I can't remember if it was January or not. It was winter time. And I had just showed up. Store probably had just opened. I showed up to get my paycheck. I walk in, guy in a long jacket looks at me and says, "Get in the back room." And me being the young hothead that I was at the time, I look at him and I'm like, who the blank are you to tell me to get in my own back room? Kind of has his hand in his pocket, he points it at me and says, "I've got a gun, get back there." So, oh crap, okay. So I opened the door of the back room, says, "Lay down." I laid down back there and all I could think of was, man, I am glad that I'm the one who cleaned the floors yesterday. So I panicked laying there on the floor, and I called Lamar instead of 911. And at first he thought I was messing with him. And later he told me, like, from the sound of your voice, I knew you weren't playing. So I ended up staying there for the whole police investigation thing. And then my shift came on. So I'm there, and it's winter, so we don't need a lot of employees. Well, that's different. The puck just broke. So the police investigation's done. Can't find who did it. I'm the only one there for that shift because, it's winter. And everyone's like, all right, peace. Have fun on your shift, Ryan. I'm like, wait a minute, you're leaving me here alone? So I was nervous that whole shift. That was the longest shift of my life. And we had paring knives in the store for when we cut brownies and other stuff like that. And I put one of those next to the register, like that was going to do anything. But that's what I did. You're going to be on my video. One time when I had a shift with my best friend, he bet me that I couldn't eat a bucket of ice cream in half an hour. And bet was if I did it, he would pay for it. If I didn't, I would pay for it. Needless to say, I lost. And that was before I realized that I was lactose intolerant. That was a mistake. I picked the richest ice cream that I could too. It was chocolate ice cream with Reese's and peanut butter and chocolate syrup and ugh. It almost turned me off to Reese's for the rest of my life. Almost. Needless to say, I had a blast at this ice cream shop as my first job. I did Lamar wrong too when I quit. I still feel bad for it. So Lamar, if you do end up watching this video, I want to apologize again. And what I did was, I took a assistant or part-time manager, something or other, where I started working salary. And that was just hard at 18 years old. And I had I was working full-time hours, not getting paid it. And I was a young hothead back then. I got fed up with it. I had an errand I had to run. And someone called in their shift, and Lamar was like, "You got to stay." And I said, I can't. I got family things to take care of. And he's like, that's part of your duties. So, again, young, immature hothead. I told him, look, if you want your store to be open in 20 minutes, get someone here to cover me because I have to leave. And he gave me a hard time about it and stuff. And I told him, I'm like, look, I'm done. I quit. And when I said it, I was mad, but I meant it. And the next day when I walked in, I just walked in and I turned my key in. And he was like, "You were serious, weren't you?" I said, "Yeah." This has been another installment, edition of The Last Line with Cheater K. Dryan. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next week.